Hi there, this is Alta Sierra's Math 7, some extra practice. This is Lesson 1 Skills Practice. That's what we're looking at here, and it comes from, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, it's the worksheet that says Course 2, Chapter 5 on Expressions. Alright, so it's just a little extra work your teachers have given you to practice. Alright, so let's see. First part says evaluate each expression if w is -2, x is 3, y -5, and z is 6. So we're going to use these values, and we're going to replace the variables with these values here in the following expressions. So for the first one, I'm going to just do the odd ones here for you. So we have 2 times w, and w it says is -2, so we put a -2 there. And a positive times a negative is going to give me a negative solution, and 2 times 2 is 4. Let's look at number 3. Number 3, we have 9 minus z. So we have 9 minus, we'll keep that there. And now let's replace the z with whatever z is. Z is 6, so we'll put a 6 there. So it's just 9 minus 6, which is 3. Number 5, we have 3 plus 4 times z. And again, z is 6, so we put a 6 there. First thing I want to do here is do this part. It says to multiply the two numbers side by side. I'm going to multiply those. Okay, so I can put a dot there if I want to show multiplication. So that becomes 24, and I still have the 3 in front. So 3 plus 24 is 27. For number 7, we have y squared. Alright, so y is -5. So we'll do -5 squared. Now -5 squared means what? It means take -5 and multiply it by a -5. And -5 times -5 is going to be, well, just first of all, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 5 times 5 is 25. So you can just write 25. You don't have to write plus 25 there. Number 9, we have z over 2. Lots of z's in this one here. And so z, it said, was 6, so I'll write 6 over 2, which is also a way of thinking about 6 divided by 2 is what this means. Or I can think about reducing a fraction. Well, either way, 6 divided by 2 is simply going to be 3. Alright, so that's that one there. I do want to look real quick at number 8 while we're here, just because it's different. It has 2 of them. 8's a bonus one here for you. So y was -5. And then we subtract whatever x was, and x is a -2. So just recall that when you subtract a negative number, that means we're going to turn that into adding 2. Now in this case here, when you're adding and subtracting these things, we have a negative and a positive. When the signs are different signs, negative, positive, we're going to find the difference, which means let's do 5 minus 2, which is 3. And then whichever one is the greater value, or absolute value, really what we say, keeps that sign. So -5 is bigger than a 2, or 5 is bigger than 2, think of it that way. So we're going to keep the negative sign with it, and so we have -3. Alright, let's move down to the bottom row, bottom section. New values, we have m is -3, n is 7, and p is -9. So again, looking at the odds, we have 12 minus 3 times m, and m is -3. Okay, this is another great one here. So if you think about this, we have a negative one, and one thing your teachers probably tell you to do is, instead of doing subtraction problems, go ahead and think about it being as add a negative. And when you do it like that, then what happens? Well, then you have -3 times -3, which is 9, and then we add that to 12, and we end up with 21. Okay, something like that. Alright, number 13, we have 3.3 times p. Oh no, a decimal, that's okay. And then p, it said, was -9. So a negative times a positive is going to be a negative answer, so we'll keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and solve this one. We can do it like this, 3.3 times 9, not worry about signs right now. 3 times 9 is 27, 27 plus 2 is 29. We have 1 behind the decimal, so we move the decimal there. So -29.7. Number 15, this is again a 2 times a p, which is -9, plus 3.3. So 2 times negative 9, a positive times a negative is a negative 18 plus 3.3. And so in this case here, the signs are different, so we need to find the difference. So I'm going to do 18 minus 3.3. Now it's important that you stack this up the right way. So I'm going to align my decimals. I'll put a decimal there and add a 0 right there so I can make sure I can subtract a 3. So I have to do 0 minus 3, which I can't do, so I borrow from here, and this becomes a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7, keep the decimal. 7 minus 3 is 4, and I still have the 1, which is 14. Now, which one of these was the larger absolute value? Negative 18 or positive 3.3? Well, we'd say that 18 was larger, so we're going to keep the sign there, and we have negative 14.7. Number 20, or 17, we have 20 minus 2 times 7. Okay. Now again, we're going to make this turn this into add a negative like this, and a negative times a positive is a negative, so we have 20 plus a negative 14. The signs are different, so we find the difference. 20 minus 14 is 6, and which one has the greater absolute value? The negative 14 or the 20? 20 does, so we'll keep it positive. Number 19, we have negative 7 times n, and n is positive 7. Negative times a positive is a negative. 7 times 7 is 49. And for 21, we have p over 3, so we do negative 9 over 3. And we can think of this as being negative, like negative 9 divided by 3, something like that if you wanted to. Well, 9 divided by 3 is 3, but a negative divided by positive is still a negative. Alright, and that's it for the odd questions for Lesson 1 Skills Practice Algebraic Expressions. Have a great day.